Hey, what's going on, Angeli County? Let's get another video, drop another video. We had some, in the last 24 hours, we've had some major updates to our political system here in Angeli County. I thought maybe I would update individuals who had questions, and I'm sure individuals in Zavala, Texas, and up north, Huntington, these areas, whatever, they are asking questions and not getting any answers. But first, before I do so, I want to mention Mr. Wayne Del Sofino, because the fact is, people ask me, why do you keep posting his stuff? Why do you keep supporting him? Well, it's very simple. I believe Mr. Wayne Del Sofino is doing whatever citizens should do. He's an investigative journalist. This is what investigative journalism is all about. He researches, he gets information, and then he makes a determination based on the information that he has given, and also from the input of the individuals who live in the city or the county. Now, if you don't believe in that, then you don't believe in the idea of a republic. If you don't believe that an individual can come in and find out information on its own, do the research, and then post his results, well, then we're through as a republic and also a democratic society. This is what journalism should be about. This is what journalism is supposed to do. And contrary to popular belief, it is vital and necessary for a democracy for individuals to ask questions, and when they don't get answers, is to push it forward. So I do support Mr. Del Sofino. I do support his page. I do, from time to time, I may share my thoughts with him, and it's really never a big conversation or whatever. It's just commenting on something he's commenting about, giving my 2 cents on what I see or whatever. So that's my major. That is my major support level. Now, I will, in all honesty, in all full transparency, I contacted Mr. Del Sofino back last year, like last year, because of the fact the situation. I brought up an injustice inside of our jail, which continues to be a problem. And when I originally talked to Miss Jess, oh no, I don't remember. God, I can't. Oh man, I can't. But she was great. But when I originally talked to her, she said, "Well, it's $4,000. That's what we charge for a fee to do the research and find out answers, and we'll give you all the information we're privy to." And I said, "Okay." So me and my wife said, "You know what? I think this is worth doing. I'm going to get my $4,000 together, and I'm going to go ahead and go forward with that." Well, the next day I got an email, and they had said that there had been a donor who had donated money to allow him to make the video, to cover the cost, whatever. That was a telltale sign to me that there are a lot of individuals who want to know what the hell's going on. And I took the opportunity to comment, appear on his video, and share what the information that I had, because my information was firsthand. I got to see it firsthand, up close and personal. And I saw the injustice in our justice system that we so-called have in Angeli County. So if those individuals believe that individuals are buying the Mr. Del Sofino to promote their cause or something like that or whatever, no, you're buying for time you're buying for the research that he needs to put into it that most of us can't put into it. We don't have time. We don't know how. We don't know the ins and outs of government, and we don't really understand how much they pull the stops out to stop us from getting information. And also, they don't want us to make our own determination that, hey, something's wrong here. This is case positive because the fact is that multiple commissioners meeting, they actually state or refer to Mr. Del Stefano and say that people are paying for his. Yeah, that's actually what we've come to in Angeli County. We want answers. We don't want you just to say transparency. We want you to provide transparency. And we as a community need to be allowed to do what needs to be done for this county. What we need to do is identify issues, identify problems, and then we're going to hire the right people to address those problems. We have not done that. I've got a phone call. We have not done that. We have been whipped by the good old boy network, which if you grew up in East Texas, everybody knows about it. Everybody knows who the players are. Everybody knows, but people just won't say it. However, that's changing because the elite in Angelina County are being exposed for their business deals, for their support for candidates, for those things, and they're being driven to light. Now, back in the old days, you never ask anybody who they voted for. That was a no-no. None of your damn business. That's what I used to get. Who'd you vote for? None of your damn business. And it wasn't. For a moment in time, I have a period of time to vote by myself, review the issues, review the people who were running, and base my decision off of the information they provide me on how they're going to address the issues. We don't have that in Angeli County. We have a commissioner's office will do every freaking thing they can to run out from a meeting and not talk to their constituents. I challenge each and every one of you. Try to call tomorrow, any specified time you choose, and see if you can get your commissioner from your precinct, or if they'll even tell you where he's at. The answer is no, because they don't want to go in public and say something that they will disclose. It will make people think, what? And that is how they get away with it, by being non-transparent, they are not available to the public whatsoever. Which brings to the next question. Who's actually putting these individuals in office? Simple answer is quick. You can actually go through and ask after every election or before the election or whatever, who are the donors to these candidates? Who is dumping money in campaigns? Now, I'm just not talking about money. What I'm talking about, easements, ownership of roads, questions about if it's county road or if it's not a county road. All of these issues that are coming up are never being addressed, and they're not addressed by any of the people who are running. I'll give you a case in point. We had an election of a commissioner in Precinct 1, and he won by 3,000 something, 3,500 something votes or whatever. Now, how much did that actually really cost us to put somebody else in office? He didn't even show up. He didn't even want to show up to the town hall meeting where they could discuss the issues out front. Debate, what's what we do in America. Raucous debate on issues. And an opportunity for the public to correct the issues that are to do their due diligence on doing what needs to be done to accomplish the mission. Without information, without us being told the right thing, with hidden documents coming out from left and right, made up documents coming out, like the list goes on. I will quote to one of the cases that I was working on, and it's Mr. Smallwood. I know people get tired of me hearing this, but this is wrong. This is crooked as a dog's hind leg. Because let me tell you, if you die, okay, now I don't mean to I don't mean to talk down to anybody or whatever. I'm in no position to talk down, but the Lord ain't done on me yet. But if a man is reported dead at 11:36 p.m., okay, pronounced dead by the hospital he was brought to, he arrived dead. So we assume this time is correct. However, the fact is, please tell me like this. Please tell me this like I'm a 3-year-old. How does a man get booked in at 12:28? Passed away at 11:36, but he wasn't booked in. He wasn't booked into jail. Why? For 2 reasons. Well, number one is because the fact is the county can always go back and say, well, we weren't in full custody. He was in process of being booked. He was in the process of whatever. And we're not going to show you any videos because the fact is that it's sensitive material that we determined that's sensitive, and the public should not be aware of this. Now, I don't mean to beat a dead horse. Something about that whole thing stinks. The whole investigation was not properly addressed to the media. It was decided by the coroner that his death was an accident, not an accidental overdose, an accident. Now, in every accident, there has to be a cause. They won't answer the cause. Now, this violates, many of you have seen, if you're looking at YouTube or just saying on social media, many people see these videos coming out where police officers and law enforcement agencies they're actually willing to give up the video or their videos of an incident, a critical incident. Critical incident would be defined as any time that an officer has to pull his weapon. That's a critical incident. So it has to be reviewed. And our review process is the DPS and Texas Rangers. We got a Texas Ranger got kicked out of Angeli County. He's still doing investigations in Angeli County, Mr. Hicks. I wonder how you got around that one. That's subject for another inquiry, which I'm actually producing right now or preparing right now. So, to get back to the point, who owns Angeli County? Who's pulling the strings? And if you follow the money, that's not good enough. You need to follow the deals that were made to get these individuals in office and the promises that were made to these individuals, and make full disclosure of who actually contributed to your campaign. Now, people will say, well, we provide that at the end of the month. We provide that every election, list of donors or whatever. Okay. But here's the thing that Angeli County elected officials don't understand. We don't trust you anymore. We do not trust your decisions that you're making, and we don't trust the reasons why you're giving us that you're making them. We don't trust our government. And rightly so, in my opinion. But the thing that irks me is the fact is that they dominate the entire process. Out of what? Well, you can see it just as soon as you walk into a commissioners meeting. Out of arrogance. They sit down, they tell you to shut up, basically, and you can only contribute to items that are on their agenda. Forget what you want to talk about. Forget about bringing up points. Forget about any issues you have with the commissioners or any issues you may have going forward to fix a problem. You're not allowed to talk on that. Okay, so what's the next recourse? Well, here's what we can do. Okay, well, I'm not allowed to speak on that. Can we schedule a time and on the docket to where we can bring up the situation, to where we can discuss this issue? Give me a name and date, or who I need to contact to make that happen, and what day is it, and what time is it, and so we can alert the public, not by your public notices that you put out in a biased Lufkin Daily News, who came to fruition because the fact is that they received a document part of the county attorney saying that they published a bid on a certain time. Check the time and date on that because it wasn't actually there. They didn't get it in the paper in time. But this is a trusted media here in Lufkin. I should tell you something right now. So right now in Zavala, their entire city, not their entire, right now I know of 4. I know of the mayor, I know of 1 officer, and I believe 2 county clerks have resigned. All in a short period of time. Now, a little backstory. Zavala has had an issue with their water 2 years prior to this. Their infrastructure they ignored, like we're doing in Angeli County. They didn't maintain their infrastructure and or their water system. They relied on a pump that failed and was so old there was only 6 people in the United States of America that knew how to work on it. Now, the point here is that if you're one of 6 Americans who know how to work on a certain pump, guess what? When you call me, I'm gonna ask a pretty penny. So we didn't get the best deal. We don't even have confirmation if this well is actually fixed, or if is it fixed for good, or if it's supposed to hold temporarily. No report came out on that. It would be easy for the county to understand. They would have less problems if they were just transparent with people. We caught them. Zavala is just one part of the problem. It's in the county. But this is generating throughout cities. This is generating a flow of people wanting to know, asking questions. They're not used to that because everybody here, and mostly people are here retired, and they're like, you know what, I've done my due, I've done my thing. I want to go to the lake, I want to go fishing, I want to go camp, I want to go do what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't blame you. I'm in the same boat. But on the other hand, I'm still a citizen. And when you see your fellow citizens suffering from this type of government, then it's our duty to say something. It's our duty to bring up the questions. It's our duty to do our own research. It's our duty to find out what the hell's going on in our neighborhood. Right now, we have more questions than we have answers. Right now, if you put a freedom of information request into our county attorney, he will forward it to the attorney general. He will take out parts and say, oh, okay, we can provide you this, but the main evidence here, or the fact is, this is what really happened. This is what the documentation says. This is what we have. And guess what? They failed to do that to our public, to the public. If you have full disclosure, then why not release the tape of how Mr. Smallwood died? You can redact as much as you want on that video. You can do some of the things that you've actually accused people of doing, doctoring tapes, doctoring information, doctoring all that, whatever. I'm gonna tell you this right now. We are not computer science. We are not a big hub for computer science to where we know everything, how to do all this stuff, or whatever. And we really say, you know what? What's the point? Because I know, and I'm not gonna do it through hearsay or nothing. I want to go straight to the point, and I'm going to address it directly, so I can. It's about having a conversation. You talk to a man, you expect him to look in your eyes. You expect him to look in your eyes and answer you and have a conversation. Any individual who wants to run away from a conversation, in my experience, is lying, or they have information that they don't want you to know. Case in point, we're at a commissioner's meeting, okay, and a contract came up that was questionable. And when it came to light, we had a commissioner who stood up and said, this is not right. This is not transparency, Judge. You cannot withhold these facts or make up these documents or facts for the people to view. It's not transparency. It's not transparency of what actually happened. Mr. Jeffries was his name. He earned my respect that day just because the fact is that he would stand up and talk, because that is unheard of in Angeli County. But the second reason why is because the fact is he called this judge on it, and the judge, Keith Wright, lost his shit because he knew he had been busted. He asked Mr. Jeffries, are you the leak? You're probably the leak. Now, I have a question. If it's public information and a commissioner decides to share it with his constituents, how's that a leak? It's not a leak. It's providing information. It's standing up and saying, no, this is not right. And for all the other commissioners up there, you know what? You stand by and watch it. So you're just as guilty as the judge, because you allow it to happen. And I don't think people understand that the commissioners totally understand. The fact is that if you sit by and you know something crooked's going on, or you know something's going on, and you do not bring it up in a commissioners meeting, you can be held liable withholding evidence. I could state, I could look up cases where this actually applies. We keep having these migration of individuals to resignation because they can't keep up with their lives anymore. They're covering up for what has happened in the past, and for those individuals that's held this office before. That's the tradition. You don't air out the dirty laundry. Well, that's what is our problem, because we are not told what is actually going on, and we're not supposed to be told. If you do, you were gaslighted, you are public enemy number one, you are all of that, or you become part of all that. Now, I have been addressed. People said, well, if you don't like it here, move. Okay. I don't have the word move in me. As you can see, I fought for my country for 9 years, 2 wars. I don't back down very easily, and we shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't be intimidated by these people. You shouldn't be intimidated by going to jail. You shouldn't be intimidated by the sheriff's department or anybody else, and you have the right not to be. We still currently have, even though after many attempts, we have an individual who has been deemed mentally incapable for trial. He has been in custody, in jail for 1,000 days. Maybe, but anyway, last time I checked, it was 937. But anyway, 1,000 days. He's not going to get a trial. He's mentally incapable. You're housing this individual because he's mental. Like, they treat him like a mental patient. Like this is an asylum. And you're punishing a guy who didn't even know he committed a crime. You don't give him treatment for his mental illness. You don't let anybody come in and review him or look at him or actually talk to him to determine the level state of his mental capability. But you got him locked up. This pretty much sums it up right here. It's because they think that you're less than. If you have had any, if they don't like you, okay, if they see that you're maybe a potential problem, and you're not going to go with all that whatever, and you're not a part of the good old boy network, and you're not, you're not this, they will make sure that you understand how important it is for you to stay quiet and not push the issue. We got many individuals around here that actually persuade you to change your mind, shut up, sit down, whatever. And by utilizing the sheriff's department and local police departments, they get their message across. I can't imagine, or I can't imagine, but my point is that they will pull out all the stops to find more on you. And here's the reason why. Because if you are a proponent of free speech, transparency, and all these things or whatever, that you're right. However, they will stalk you and they will try to get you on something to discredit you in the Lufkin Daily News, to make you look bad, to make it look like you have a criminal history, to make it look all of that. Then they lock you in jail for 2 years until you come down to their way of thinking. You live here, you don't cause no problems, keep your mouth shut. We are learning now in Texas. This is actually how business is done. Now, my next point is this: is that if Miss Castles resigned because of political pressure, shouldn't all of her cases in the last year be reviewed to see if there's any bias? Right now, she turned tail and run. You can't charge her with nothing because the fact is that, you know what? A lot of people say, well, she's resigned. She can't do no harm or whatever. But what about the harm she's already done? Sorry, guys, I get to talking. But small town politics doesn't matter. Whatever. Yeah, it does. We keep electing the same officials, and then we keep electing the same damn representatives. Trent Ashby, I don't know what the hell he's done. He is a paper bag politician. Whichever way the wind's blowing, that's where he's going. Feeling he's already got up on charges. We got our people in Congress in Texas that are being lit up with charges. Because why? Because they finally got caught. They got caught up in their corruption, and then the Texas citizens took it forward and said, let's pursue this further and get all the facts. And every time they turn over some more facts, 15 more questions come out. So we have individuals talking about Texas seceding, to Texas to be their own country, to be independent from the United States. All these things or whatever, and I'm not saying I'm against that, but here's the problem. We need to fix what we got here before we go out on our own. We need to fix our system here in Texas before we move on to bigger and better things. And it starts right here in your county. Ask questions. Don't just go over to a barbecue on Sunday, okay? Sit around and bitch all afternoon, drinking beer, and eat some good brisket. or some catfish maybe. I don't like catfish, but I like fried okra. I do like that. But anyway, so you're out here bullshitting with all your friends and everything. And it's like, you know what? You're complaining your ass off. But come Monday morning, guess what? Ain't got nothing to say. Ain't got no questions to ask, nothing. Why? Because we've all accepted the fact as well. Been that way for years. Been that way for years. So what do? We sit back and take it. We take elected politicians who get in office can behave at the request of their masters, and they're rewarded with a salary and also a pension. So, and we're not even close to getting anywhere to the form of justice that we deserve. If you're in doubt or you don't understand that you can ask questions, you're gonna get gaslighted. Everybody's gonna label you a troublemaker. Everybody's gonna like Mr. Deltafino. They call him a troublemaker because the fact is he's getting to the truth. Now, if you're a proponent of truth, and start asking some questions. Start doing your own research. Everybody has a computer here and internet access. Do your own research. Look shit up. What they say, look it up. Is it actually something you're just making up to make us believe you know what the hell you're talking about? Or is it actually a law that says you can't do that? I'm not taking your word for it anymore. Once again, I'll say this. Angelina County has lost respect and trust in their government. Pure and simple. Whether you speak out or you don't speak out or you don't. It all comes down to one realization is that nobody thinks that they can change the corruption or stop the corruption. And the next question is it worth it for me to stand up and ask questions and start dwelling into the truth? Is it worth me doing all that, knowing that the repercussions are going to be dire, I would say. You're going to go to freaking jail. Might as well get bail money ready. You're going to go to jail. You're going to be gaslit. You're going to be talked about. Your name goes in the gutter. Your kids can't go to school without getting picked on. The whole 9 yards. This is how it affects the community. Now, with Zavala, I have no idea what's going on, but the fact of the matter is, it's Angelina County, and that just tells me right there that there's bullshit going on, not only in the county, but also in the cities. So we either do one or two things. We can sit by and let it happen, live out our lives and say whatever, or we can do this. Or we could actually get involved for our children's sakes and our grandchildren's sakes, because the fact is you knew what it was like to grow up here. You knew the good old boy network. And you had to be accustomed to the good old boy network. Do you want your kids and your grandkids growing up in the same type of environment? Or do you want to provide what's better for your kids? Give them what's better. Giving your kids money and scholarships and all these things are great. But the main thing that a parent can actually provide to their kids is a sense of honor, a sense of not backing down and standing up for what is right and what is wrong. Sometimes you got to raise a little hell. Sometimes that's out of the norm of what people think or whatever. Well, guess what? There's a whole big world out here, and you're just in Angelina County. And let me tell you something right now. You're just a commissioner in Angelina County. That's it. There's no special privileges. There's no honor bestowed upon you. No, you're county commissioner. Do your damn job. That's it. No accolades. No nothing. That's it. Just go do your job. Ethically, do your job. And for the sake of the people, do your job. That's all we're asking of every situation. After every after every employee that we have at the county and the city levels. I can understand Zavala. There's people that got sick and tired. It's like, you know what? I can't. They got sick and tired and they had to resign because the fact is, you know what? I ain't changing nothing. I ain't getting anything done because of the fact that the powers that be, I can't get anything moved through. Frustration. But somebody's got to make the first step. Somebody has got to continue to research these individuals and check them on what they're saying because we are the oversight committee of our county. I just promoted all of you. All of you right now, all of you right now are citizens, and you deserve every right. All of them, even the ones you don't necessarily agree with. And if you don't agree with it, state your mind, state your position. And everywhere, every generation, people have come up and they have stated their position. The ones that have actually changed our history or were part of our history are actually providing a better nation. They all stood up and said, "No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. No, here's why I don't believe it." But you will have our county commissioners and you will have elected officials and you'll even have employees of the county and the cities run away, will not give you a statement, will not comment on anything, nothing. They will run the hell away from answering questions. Why? Because the county and the cities have a gag order. How do we know the gag order exists? Because the fact is, a commissioner was accused of leaking information that the public has every entitlement to. Now, I'll guarantee you, on this bidding process, if there would have been a freedom of information requested on this, and they did what Watchdogs did, and they double checked it, good on you. But it could have easily went by. Nobody noticed because it wasn't on the agenda. It wasn't an item. And guess what? They got caught. How many times do they have to get caught before we realize that it's our decision who we put in there? I don't know. But we've got a lot of things in our county we got to deal with. We got the world situation, everything, whatever. I would think that, you know what, before all that shit hits the fan, you know what, I'd like to have my county government in line to be able to accept, be able to adapt, be able to come, use some initiative for the benefit of the county. That's all I want. And be honest with me, even if the truth freaking hurts, I'll respect you more if you just tell me the truth. How many times your dad said that to you? I'll respect. Hey, tell me the truth. So we're asking Angeli County and the cities that are involved in Angeli County, start producing truth, start providing transparency, and stop hiding behind transparency and your definition because it's not valid. So that's all I got to say for tonight. Anyway, I guess we got some more weather coming in or whatever. I hadn't been fishing the last 2 or 3 days because the fact is that I keep waiting for a thunderstorm to come up in the afternoon. That's all I need to do is get caught out of that lake in a thunderstorm. But um, anyway, this is things that are on my mind that I've actually discovered and then I actually received research. Please like and share so I can get more individuals involved in our county. You don't have to agree. I'm not asking you for that. I'm asking for a debate on the on. I'm asking for an honest debate on subjects where we can compare notes and we can compare what was said and what was said. Because the fact is, it's going to take us to get to the bottom, and we have to start our conversations at the bottom because we don't have to, but we all know we can't continue going down the same pace, this same path. We can't continue to operate in this fashion. Times change, man. And I will say this closing. Here's one thing Mr. Wade Delfino had provided. One thing they didn't expect: the effect of social media. It has connected people who never even talked to each other in Angelina County. They don't even like you, but they want to know what information you have, because the fact is maybe it aligns with some information that they have, and they're like, "Oh, I figured it out." They need to share that information with themselves, to where you actually have to go in and you have to like produce documents to them and actually prove that what they're saying is wrong. So that's all I got to say for now. But anyway, you guys have a great evening. It's Thursday and it's going to go into the Friday. It's supposed to be hot, so you guys dress appropriately. But I ask you again, please like, share, so I can get more viewers, to spread these issues around. So we could talk about it and make our county better, bigger, faster than the average bear. I still think that I believe in the individuals who live in Angelina County that they want that, even though our government reflects otherwise. You guys be good. Keep your powder dry. I'm out.